So here we go. Huge boxing match. Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. One of the biggest fights in the last 15 years for sure. It's not even like a real fight for any rankings or titles or anything like that. It's just the magnitude of the event. There hasn't been a bigger fight in at least 15 to 20 years for boxing. That's for sure, without question. And these guys are about to get it on, and we'll be here until this thing finishes. Oh, baby. Oh, my God, we're seconds away. We are seconds away. Hold your breath for Jake Paul, man. Here we go. Here we go. Ring that bell. Let's go. Ring the bell. Wow, here we go. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Oh, yeah, Mike Tyson's coming forward. Jake Paul, a little jittery, gets out of there. And here comes Mike. And Mike grabs Jake Paul right away. Don't be nice, Mike. First right landed by Jake Paul and a jab by Mike, and the crowd goes crazy. Oh, a big right connects on Jake. You can already see his face. I don't care who he's been in there with. He hasn't been hit this hard for sure. That power and endurance will fade quickly, though. And there you go, Jake. Jake grabbing on already. Smart move. Fans aren't going to like it. But from a strategic point of view, that's smart. Because you got to wear Tyson out as quick as possible when he grabs and holds again. Jake Paul said, "What, or Mike Tyson says, come on, what's going on?" Ooh. Yeah. Yeah, you can see Jake Paul's a little jittery, man. Yep, and Jake Paul moving quick and landing some jabs. Mike Tyson turns to right. Remember the 14-ounce gloves and things look huge. Big right by Jake. And once Jake Paul gets into the groove, I feel more confident with my prediction. And already we're past 90 seconds. So second by second, anything can happen still. But second by second, you got to assume Jake Paul is going to slow down, and a low blow there by Mike. And there's a tap to round one. And already the confidence for Jake Paul is going to build as he goes to the corner. And round one is done. And Tyson stares him down and walks over to the corner. Now, what is it? So we made it through round one. All right. So the percentages of Jake Paul winning is just doubled, basically. Tyson definitely breathing hard in the corner. So they go to work on him. No problems, right? But definitely looking more tired. And that jab that he landed on Jake Paul was just a jab, but that electrified the crowd. And Jake Paul realized, I don't want any more of that. And he landed a big right on Mike and connected. And Mike took it. And how much was Mike hit during training camp, right? And Mike Tyson gets instructions from the corner. And here we go. Round two is underway. There's going to be quick rounds, ladies and gentlemen. So a few more tense moments here in round two. This is the big round, as we talked about in the prediction. If Jake Paul wins this round, I believe 100% he wins the fight. Now, Tyson won the first round, and I'm sure Jake Paul just gave him that. In round one, it was just 3-2 landed for Paul, 8-5 thrown. So both guys right at 40%. Not very active. Mike Tyson lands a left. Oh, baby. And Mike not with a lot of movement, right? He still got the same side-to-side movement a little bit as he had in the old days, but his legs are slow. Not a lot of bounce in his step. And Mike Tyson comes, has Jake Paul pinned in the corner, and he ties him up. Or maybe Jake Paul tied him up. It's very smart. And this is just going to wear down Tyson second by second. And we're already under a minute here in round 2. And Jake Paul looking more comfortable now. Slowly, barring no big punch by Mike in the next minute or two, slowly the fight is going to start swinging Jake Paul's way. That's my belief. Mike lands a nice left. Mike covering up well. Not taking a lot of punches right now. And Mike comes forward. Lands a jab here. Close to the bell. Misses on a right. Jake Paul gets out of there. And that'll do it for round 2. And Mike Tyson staring him down again. But see what happens now, okay? Because this is the point in the fight that we really focused on, the end of round 2, and over the around the last year, talking about this fight because it was delayed and all that. Jake Paul should take over this fight now. The fear of Mike Tyson walking up to the octagon, getting into the octagon and realizing, holy crap, I'm standing across the ring with the baddest dude on the planet. Getting past that, getting through round 1. Okay, I get through round 1, I'm okay. Oh, I get through round 2, I'm okay. All right? So now that stigma starts to fade because it's a 58-year-old Mike Tyson. And now you're going to see Jake Paul pick his game up for sure here as this fight goes on. Round 3 underway. And if you're just joining us, yes, we're in round 3. And Mike Tyson coming out hot now. Probably starting to realize, he's going to start getting tired at some point. And this might be the round that Jake Paul has to get through. But right now they got Tyson up 20-18. Interesting. I don't know that Mike won both rounds. I think it's 1-1. Oh, Paul lands on Tyson. Tyson stumbles. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Paul lands a left. Starting to feel better. Lands a right. And I'm telling you, Paul's starting to feel better. Tyson stumbles a little bit. And this is where the U starts to pick in. This is where the U starts to pick up. Where everybody, for months and months and months, said Mike Tyson's going to KO him. And the fight's still not over. But you're starting to see the age of Mike Tyson show. And this is what I expected to happen. And eventually, those power punches that can end the fight won't be there. And it's going to be Jake Paul that starts to take over this fight. And you're starting to see it here in round 3. And you even see some people close to the ring starting to have different looks on their face. Like, okay, I don't know if Mike Tyson's going to be able to do this. Mike Tyson remaining calm, but he's on the defensive for sure. And definitely starting to get tired. That's a good point, because I said that too, to Jake Paul's extra weight, which looks like a lot of water weight. Doesn't seem to be slowing him down at all. And, the 2-minute rounds are definitely big for Jake Paul too. Because he can go in bursts, take the lead in the round, and get through the round. Yeah, Mike Tyson's looking real tired here at the end of round 3. A lot of concern on the look of his face right now. Because he's walking in too like, I can beat him. I can still return to my old self, my 20-year-old self. But the reality is, you're not 20. You're 58. And he's starting to look like it. And you see the concern on his face, like, it's not good. I'm getting a look at the replay. Paul with 5 straight punches. 6, 7 before Mike Tyson responds. And Jake Paul is definitely outpacing Mike Tyson here. And the confidence builds even further for Jake Paul. Now the ref's saying time and starting it. Round 4 is underway. And Mike's got to land that punch. He's not going to win this thing by trying to box with Jake Paul. He's going to win this thing by landing the big punch. Let's go, Jake. Got to start to pick it up, baby. Wear him out. And it's crazy because leading up to this thing, I didn't see, literally, I have not talked to, have to really think that anybody said Jake Paul was going to win this fight. I'm going to have to really think. I don't remember anybody out there saying that Jake Paul would win this fight. And here we are in round 4, and Jake Paul starting to look real good. Mike Tyson beginning to slow down, and he's gonna have to pick, he's gonna have to dig real deep to pull this thing out. I mean, he's gonna have to dig real deep. 1:15 left, round 4, and you're starting to see Tyson's legs a little jittery now. In terms of the feints from Jake, he's moving in quickly, trying to get out of the way, and not as much bounce in the step. And that's the big thing that you lose as you get older is the leg strength. The youthful energy in your legs to be able to bounce around, move quickly, get low, and explode up with those powerful finishes. You're just seeing a slower Mike Tyson. But Mike Tyson's a fighter. And if you're Jake Paul, even when you're talking smack leading up to this fight, there's got to be something in your head. There's got to be some doubt, right? And then you're living in the moment, and you're in round 4 with Mike Tyson, and you're starting to take control of this fight. There's a tap for round 4. Tyson walks back to his corner looking a little dejected, starting to realize that KO is very elusive. If you're Jake Paul, though, you're headed towards a victory in this fight, but you got to be careful knowing that it's still Mike Tyson and anything can happen at any given second. Stay out of harm's way and continue boxing for the next 4 rounds like you did in the first 4, and you get the win here. And you can hear from how quiet it is. I think the fans are starting to realize too, like Mike just doesn't have that thunder. Nice body shot there by Jake Paul. Oof. Both fighters stand up. And we're halfway through the fight. I mean, it's amazing. We're halfway through this fight. It seems like it just started just seconds ago. Jake Paul opens it up with a few jabs. Mike Tyson trying to bounce a little bit to get his legs underneath of him, but it just doesn't seem like he's got the power or speed in the legs. And Jake Paul is able to, get in, land some jabs. Nice right there by Jake. And then he's able to land the jabs and get back out. And a nice stiff jab there by Paul with a big right coming. And now he's starting to open up a little bit. Yeah, Mike just slowing down, man. Jake Paul feeling comfortable. Standing in front of Mike. Throwing the jabs. Sometime, landing the combo with the right as well. Big left there. Ooh. Biggest punch of the fight for Mike Tyson with the big left. And Jake just ate it. Right back to form now. And Mike landed once this round, but not a lot over the last couple rounds, right? He just doesn't have the footwork and the speed anymore. You know, by the time he moves or whatever, Jake Paul's already out of the spot that he was in just seconds ago. So, and a nice right by Jake Paul. And Jake's going to be criticized even when he wins. He's going to be criticized. You know, how dare you fight a 58-year-old all this? But you got to remember, going into this fight, everybody said Mike Tyson's going to win. And if you said anything different, you're a crazy person. You don't know anything about boxing and all of these things and comments that we've heard over the last year, basically. You know, I try to look at these things and take a step back because my emotions would say I want to see Mike Tyson KO him, but I'm also got to be realistic and say I just don't see that happening. And these punches you're seeing in slow motion by Jake Paul are just ridiculous. Beam. And Mike caught him under the chin. And Jake stuck his tongue out. I missed that. Ladies and gentlemen, we're up to round 6 already. I mean, there's only 6 minutes left in this fight. Jake's got to pick it up too. He's got to make sure they don't try to rob him and give him a draw or something like that, right? Because he did start slow the first round for sure. Definitely gave up the first, maybe the second, but he certainly won the last 3 without question. Mike Tyson just looks like he's stuck in mud. First round, there was some flair, but he still only landed 2 punches in the first round. So I can make an argument that Jake's up 5-0 right now. But at worst, he's up 3-2. And a nice right uppercut and left jab by Paul, followed by another jab and a right. And Jake Paul could probably, I mean, he could clearly be more aggressive and try to take Tyson out in this fight and get the TKO, KO, something like that. But, then you put yourself in a position where you might get caught. And he's being smart not to do that. Let's go, Jake. Come on, Jake. Here comes Mike. And Mike just can't get the foot speed to land. Crowd booing now. But what'd you expect? Everybody built something up in their head. And you want to see the 58-year-old go in there and beat Jake. A guy that's headed right to his prime. I mean, think about it. He's got 3 years before he's 30. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, he's in perfect position in life at the highest strength level, fighting a guy who hasn't fought in a sanctioned bout in almost 20 years. Jake Paul getting instructions from his corner, like, let's pour it on now. Let's go. Yeah. Telling him to go in and out. That's a good strategy. Because then you just keep Mike moving and getting more and more tired. And you finish his thing. Big round for Jake. Make sure you don't give the judges any reason to make it 4-4. Round 7's underway. Man, nice left by Mike. Crowd likes it a little bit. trying to get Mike to wake up. At some point, if you're Mike, you just got to go for it, right? I mean, him too should start realizing, okay, I only got 4 minutes left here. You don't get to finish. And look at that, 59-16 total punches. Just not even close. Jake throwing 200, Mike only 87. And not only is Jake Paul, doubly as active as Tyson, he's also landing at a higher percentage. So there's no way you can make the case. Mike's landing 2 punches on average per round. And anybody or any thought that this fight was fixed, it should be out of your mind now. I mean, it's a legitimate fight, and it's going exactly how one might expect it to go. Boom. Nice combo by Jake, left and right. Left to the body. And he's able to land before Tyson moves. I mean, that's the difference in the speed. I didn't know that was a thing. You can't measure, so you can't stick your jab hand out and touching his forehead. I mean, I've never heard that before, but okay. Regardless of how this finishes, mad respect for Mike Tyson. We got 1 round left, but there's no way you can make the case that Mike won this fight, not even close. He would need to finish here to have any chance to win this fight, but you got to give credit to Mike at the age of 58, man. To get in there and do what he's doing. He's looking real tired right now. Corner telling him he's got to get more aggressive. He's got the look on his face like, what you mean? I'm tired as heck in here. But give this guy credit. I mean, he's an absolute warrior. He's not the same human being. But at the same time, he's getting in there with a 27-year-old dude who lives this every day. And that's what people don't realize coming in is it's like, you're thinking Jake's just this punk that can't fight. The reality is he can fight, right? Not measured up against the 58-year-old Mike Tyson, but just in general, the dude can fight. And therefore, it's not just going to be a walk in the park for Mike Tyson, which many people thought, and had me worried too. I was worried in the first 2 rounds. But you can quickly see that it's not going to be that type of situation for Mike Tyson. He can still catch you at any time. But this fight is just swung way to Jake Paul. 28-5 in the previous round. Ooh, nice left by Mike, though. Be careful, Jake. Don't get crazy. Ooh, nice left by Jake. But Jake's got to be careful now. When he gets in there, he's landing that extra punch and giving time for Mike to respond. He doesn't need to do that right now. But inside of Jake, he wants that KO. 1 minute left in this fight. And the story of this fight will be Mike's age. It'll be that the fight never really even got off the ground for Mike Tyson. And if this thing gets to 0, the way it's looking right now, this fight will finish exactly how I told you it would finish. And people were getting on me for months. You're crazy. You don't know what you're talking about. Jake isn't a real fighter. How could you think Mike Tyson's not going to come in there and just whoop Jake Paul? Well, I mean, because you're not factoring in the age, man. You're thinking of the 80s and 90s Mike Tyson. Those who didn't live during that time are listening to the hype. And the bottom line is, it's just 31 years old is a big deal, man. 31-year age difference, is a big deal. And there's a tap, the final 10 seconds. And it's not that Mike doesn't want any more from Jake Paul. Be careful. And both guys bowing to each other. And this fight comes to an end. And they talk it out. And I'm sure Mike's telling him right now, like, keep going. You definitely can fight. Regardless of the age of Mike Tyson, I don't think there's any one of us getting in there with Mike Tyson. I mean, I just tell you that right now. Now Jake's corner hugging with Mike Tyson, talking to him, and regardless of, Mike Tyson's got to be proud of himself. I mean, he's a 58-year-old dude. I mean, you're right about 60 years old, and you get in there with a 27-year-old and you go 8 rounds. And, I know he wanted to win the fight, but the reality is, man, Mike Tyson's got nothing to be ashamed of because he's not supposed to win this fight. So basically, as I told you for months and almost a year now, exactly how this fight would go down. Barring the big variable of a finish at any point by Mike Tyson, this fight would happen by Jake Paul just getting through the first 2 rounds, taking over from there, and just skating toward the finish line. And that's exactly what he did. And it should be basically, 6 rounds of 2. And that's what they're showing here, 78-74. That's how I have it too. I might even make it 79-73. The judges want to be real friendly. They'll say 77-75. But there's no way Mike Tyson even won 4 rounds of this fight. Or 3 rounds. What's scary is if you get a road judge to give Tyson 4 rounds. I don't know how. I mean, at the end of 5 rounds, he had like 14 punches landed. I mean, it just wasn't nothing there. And hopefully Mike Tyson is okay. I mean, he seems fine at the moment, you know. But even though he didn't take any, like, big thunderous punches, hopefully he's okay. And he just gets back to being Mike Tyson. That's the bottom line. But Jake Paul proved it to everybody, hey, I'm not scared. Everybody in the world's against me. They'll forget that tomorrow, but everyone in the world is against him. And he still came in and got the job done. So waiting on the official decision, but it's clear that Jake Paul won this thing. So they let everybody in the ring. Now they're going to try to clear everyone from the ring. That's boxing for you. All right, here we go. Here we go with the decision. God, and they let everybody in the ring. I mean, boxing's got to get it together. Here we go. Here we go. 80-72. 79-73. Not even close. Jake, the problem child, Paul, dominates Mike Tyson. Basically 8 rounds to nothing and 7 rounds to 1. And that'll do it. That'll do it. Jake Paul gets a W, just like I told you he would. Start listening to your boy Chris Cross, and you'll be right 7 times out of 10. No, we'll take this one, man, for sure. We'll take this one all day.